what would happen to the U.S.-Canada friendship if President Trump tears up NAFTA. Let me give you a number here. Every year, $544 billion in trade occurs between the two countries. And you know what that works out to every 24 hours? 400,000 people and $1.5 billion in goods transferring across the 4,000-mile border daily. It is far more critical, though, for Canada, as 3/4 of all Canadian exports head straight to the U.S. Let us bring in former ambassador to Canada, James Blanchard, also former Michigan governor, and we're thrilled to have you here, along with a guy named Drew Greenblatt. He's the CEO of Marlin Steel, a Baltimore steel and wire company that does a big chunk of his business with Canada and Mexico. Ambassador, to you first. What does it look like to you? Did Prime Minister Trudeau save any part of NAFTA, or is he already simply ready to strike a fresh deal with the U.S.?
Well, I think NAFTA can be tweeted. I was there when we signed it, when we finished it. You know, it started in January 1994, so you can modernize NAFTA or relations with Canada very easily. So I don't see any major change. I mean, it's, first of all, it'd be self-defeating for us to do that. I mean, and by the way, the busiest trade corridor between our two countries is Detroit-Windsor, and we do more trade with Canada than we do all the European Union added up. And it supports, I don't know, maybe about 7 million jobs in the U.S. So not much, I think, will happen other than maybe update it to have more standardized goods and services, allow a better free flow of labor, a lot of different things, e-commerce, things like that. So I think everything will be fine. I think the meeting went quite well today, actually, and the real target is Mexico and how you do that. And remember, Mexico is important to us. They're not just an ally on a border, but they're important to our economy as well.
Well, to the Canadians, though, they sell more to us, but let's not ignore the fact that we're a stock channel, we're a market channel, and people are watching right now, and they own stock in companies here based in the U.S. that get a ton of revenue from Canada and from dealing with Canada. Everything from Ford to Costco, Home Depot, Valero Energy, ConocoPhillips, huge amounts of business dealings there. So do we simply accept that we are going to have really good relations with Canada, Ambassador, and that nothing better change in that regard when it comes to border taxes and border tariffs?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think good relations will continue. I really do. I don't see a problem with tweaking NAFTA and modernizing it. I mean, we have a totally integrated automotive industry, totally integrated energy industry. We can't live without that any more than they can.
Okay.
And there's a lot more there: financial services, agriculture, infrastructure. It's a partnership that works, and nobody in their right mind, frankly, would try to alter it in any significant way.
Let me bring in Drew Greenblatt. You're with Marlin Steel. You're the president. You're the CEO of. You make steel and wire. How much business do you do with Canada?
About 20–25% of our business every year is with NAFTA, Mexico, and Canada. Probably about 10–15% is with Canada alone.
Okay.
Canada is hugely important for Marlin and other factories throughout the nation.
Where do you stand on the president's belief that NAFTA must go?
I think the president is right that we need to refine and tweak NAFTA. It's a document that was created over 20 years ago. A lot's changed. The iPhone was not invented yet. The Internet was in its infancy at this point. So it could be revised, refined. There's a lot of important things we can add and improve. You know, trade with Canada, trade with Mexico is really important for America.
Let me just interrupt you, because we're showing video of your operations, a lot of American flags here, but you're not just jingoistic. You are willing to sell to countries that will absolutely buy from you. So is there anything that you fear or panic about if, look, everything at one stage is appropriate, at another might be inappropriate? NAFTA's an old deal. You've got to, as we're using the word of the day, tweak it. But which part of it do you need to see tweaked, and which part of it do you need to stay the same so that you keep selling your goods across the borders?
That's a great question. You know, Marlin exports to 39 countries. However, like you said, Canada is really important for us. Things we need to make sure is that when we ship a car to Canada or they ship a car back to us, the taxes are the same each way. Same thing with supplies, parts and supplies. We ship baskets into Canada for their factories. So we want to make sure a Canadian basket maker has the same tax coming into America as we have going into them. We need a level playing field. If we get a level playing field, I'm content, because the American manufacturing community will rise to the occasion. We'll do super things if we have a level playing field. That's all we need. And if President Trump can get that accomplished, he'd be a huge success with the Canadian trade and Mexican trade.
I want to thank both of you very much. Drew, good luck to you, and Ambassador James Blanchard, it's a pleasure to have you both.